Everybody. I'm here with Scott Clancy, who I'm sure you all know, one of our stewards, one of the great pilots we have at PHI, a true professional, somebody I've got a lot of respect for, who I'm really grateful has decided to step up and become one of our stewards. He and I have spoken at length. We've known each other for a long time. We've got a lot of background together. He's a guy whose opinion I respect a lot. He brings a unique perspective to a lot of things. He's a very thoughtful and intelligent guy. So we often wrestle this question that we get from people about why should I join the union? What's in it for me? Why should I do it? So why should I? So Scott has, again, we've talked about this, and he's got a great perspective on it that he's more than willing to share with us. So with that, Scott, what is your thoughts? What's your answer to the question? Why should I join the union?
Sure. Thanks, Gordon. So as you pointed out, question comes up, why should you join the union? And it's a fair one. After all, you garner representation in disciplinary action. So beyond someone coming in and helping you through a day, I sincerely hope you never have. The question, I think, for most people still stands. Beyond representation, being in a union gives you an actual vote. It gives you a voice, leverage, and a real chance to obtain the things that you want from the company. Things you want for your families, things you want for your career. I do want to take a moment to clarify that I very much like PHI. I don't want to demonize anybody. Given the opportunity to give you what you want, I can almost guarantee you that most of the people in management would like to just give that to you. But this is a business, and businesses exist to generate revenue. Actions are expensive. Purchases are expensive. These are all expense line items that they have to take a look at each and every time they make a decision. If there is not a sound financial justification for the cost, the expense is not approved. It's incredibly simple. The company's job is to make the most money with the least overhead. We are all overhead. The company does want to look out for its people in the ways that it can, but we must remember what bracket we ultimately fall into on the balance sheet. A union puts pressure on that equation. The people looking at the numbers not only have to look at the numbers, but also consider us, our opinion, and our best interests. They're bound to listen and at least attempt to work with us. Without this, they're basically going to consider your raw essentials: basic shelter, a small bed, a blanket, and enough grocery money for oatmeal and PB&J sandwiches. And don't worry, they'll cover the water and the coffee. You must understand that a union strength is proportional to its membership base. There's a misconception that there's some magic number. It's a common fantasy to tell yourself that you might consider joining when the membership is at X% and growing, so that you can be the one that sets it over the magic number when you graciously decide to join. This is the kind of self-deception that companies actually set out to manufacture. It's a poker game employees are forced to play with each other. This is done because companies know that a larger union is much stronger than a smaller one. So what is the magic number? If we're going to talk about a magic number, 100% is the magic number. Pilots consider the airlines because the very things their strong unions have garnered for their pilots: high salaries, flexible schedules, great retirement, and other benefits that stand out well ahead. I want you to dare to dream for a moment and consider that this is something that we can build here at home in a much shorter time than it takes you to obtain a position at a major airline as a captain on a wide-body jet. Can it be done? Well, that depends. It depends on what we do with our time and our effort here, and if we make it matter. If we do our homework, commit to teamwork, good communication, and negotiating. It's going to be hard, but nothing worth doing is easy. The most important thing to remember with all of that is that it's been done before. The company's entering a time of change. Like it or not, this means that every bottom line is going to be considered. Your salary, your retirement, your living conditions, your opportunities at PHI, how you're treated, and so on. The very fabric of what you know working here right now. This is all on the line as we speak. There will be some people coming into some very powerful positions. that are new, eager to demonstrate their worth to their masters. So if you want to protect what you have now and make things better for yourself in the future and your colleagues in the future, you want cameras out of the cockpit, you want accountability for actions, you want consistent responses and actions from management, you want your vacation approved weeks or months, not days ahead of your plans. You want to be able to donate your sick time to a sick coworker and not have to dig into your vacation to deal with somebody else's illness or help a friend and a colleague with an illness. You want fair opportunities to upgrade and to fly the best aircraft in the world without being cut in front of by outside hires. I flew light ships here. I'm grateful for that opportunity, and I very much want to see that for everybody who's coming in and starting their careers or making this a second or third stop along their way, and they want to move into these aircraft. You want to have a fair and ethical sick leave policy that doesn't force you to decide between staying home to recover from a cold and banking time for things you actually want to do. You want to take aviation decision-making away from med crews and HR and return it to where it belongs. You want to be paid a good wage. You don't want to be carelessly screwed around with. You want not only to be heard, but also listened to. These are all things that will never happen if you go at it alone. But together, we at least have a chance. The more of us there are, the faster it will happen. So if you're a person who's willing to sacrifice a few small numbers at the end of your paycheck in order to improve your life, what in most cases, honestly, is what some people spend on coffee, I promise you the potential benefits greatly outweigh the cost. Join because you understand that there's a lot of room for improvement. Join because you understand that your best chance for improvement is together.
Well, Scott, you're absolutely right. I could not agree with you more. And again, as always, you've kind of put it all in perspective, and it's very well put. I think everybody who sees this will hopefully at least get a better understanding. I mean, again, we're all going to have a different perspective, and we've got different things are important to us. But as far as having a common theme that everybody can certainly identify with, I think you hit the nail right on the head. So thank you for that, and thanks everybody for taking a moment and listening. And with that, Scott, I appreciate it. Thank you.